as we are recording this podcast, the world is basically reacting to Kyle Rittenhouse being acquitted of all charges or found innocent and not guilty of all charges against him. So, for those of you who are not familiar, Kyle Rittenhouse was, I believe, in Wisconsin, and he, killed 3 protesters, or he killed 3 people in the wake of a protest.
Yeah, or killed 2 of them, wounded another.
And wounded another. And so he was just found innocent. And it's an interesting thing. Before this podcast, I was talking about I had a conversation with one of my friends who's a cop, and he actually agreed with the innocent verdict. And I can't say that yet because there's not enough details. But here at Brewin Black, we try to go through things with you all. So basically, from the videos I saw, I believe that the prosecution could make an argument that, like, okay, first guy threw a bag at him, charged him. There were shots going on all around, and he doesn't know what's going on. So he turns around, he shoots the guy, and allegedly he's possibly calling the police. And then with the other 2, Kyle trips. He feels like someone's coming at him with a skateboard, shoots that guy. And then the other guy who gets shot in the arm, who survives, is also running towards Kyle with a pistol. But on the other side of that, it's, hey, there's this white terrorist. He's a 17-year-old boy with AR-15, and some people like to look at him as scared, but it's like, you came with a group of people or by yourself with to a protest with the AR-15 as a child. So, like, how can you be that scared? And I think for me, the thing I want to break down is 2 things. First of all, as a community, I don't like, where's this boy's guardians? Where's his family? Because y'all shouldn't be letting any little boy be running around with AR-15. That's sickening. First of all, then secondly, I think that let's say he was, each of those things were self-defense. Let's say that. Let's be in that world for a second. The thing that Black people and many people in America are upset about is not just the fact that he murdered people, but the fact that a black person would not be able to kill 3 people and to claim it was self-defense. Even if Kyle Rittenhouse was running towards the cops to tell them what he did, Black people would not get that same luxury. We don't get that same luxury. And the fact that he can be alive in his trial versus the cops gunning him down after I'd already killed 2 people and wounded another one is incredible to me. That's an incredible in the most horrific way possible. And I think that that's what we have to understand about the situation. It's that it's not like, he shot those 3 white men, killed 2 of them. Okay. But like, T, you just said it, had it been a Black man who had killed a white person for any reason, self-defense or not, he wouldn't even get a chance to be under the jail. You know what I mean? So I think that that's a big part of what we're thinking about. And we also think that it sets a bad precedent because, you're teaching young white boys that it's okay to, carry around rifles, to shoot people, to be in places that they shouldn't have been anyway, because, there's some reports going around that he was trying to be a vigilante and, protect property. And it's just like, bro, you went out of your way to a different city or a different state to try and to defend something, right? You shouldn't have been there anyway. And now, not only did you come into a place where you didn't belong, you weren't invited, but you caused harm, right? All these people would be alive if you would have just stayed your ass at home, but that's not the decision that you made, right? And so now I'm trying to look for the videos. I'm trying to see all the different interactions. But one of the bottom lines is that in America, what little white boys can go and get guns and shoot up the place in one way or another. And like, that's not what we're supposed to be about. And that's why the gun law, there's push to reform these gun laws, and other things as well, because it shouldn't be, Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't have been able to get access to that gun. The police should have stopped him as soon as they saw him with a gun, and people should still be alive. And that's where some of our frustration lies. And we got to talk about his tears, bro. Like those tears, bro. Matter of fact, I've been talking a second. What did you think about his tears? And tell me what you just thought about the whole situation.
Dog, I'm like, if he spent money on acting lessons, he need his money back because he was.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I'm not even gonna make, yeah.
If you don't take and I think what you said, like it makes me think a lot, right? So let me juxtapose this. And when I say juxtapose, like let's put this in comparison. Let's put this side by side with the situation that sparked this, right? So the shooting of Jacob Blake, right? So Jacob Blake, it comes out, some information has come out since the shooting, and it was found that he had a knife. He had a pocket knife. I don't believe the knife was ever like actually like protracted. Like, yeah, I don't think it was ever like out. You know, a pocket knife, you can like hit the button and it flips out. So when the police were trying to arrest him, and tase him and some other things like that, he was walking to his car. One of the officers pulled him down, and when he falls down, the knife comes out of his pocket. He picks it up and he's going to his car. And they're telling him to drop the knife, drop the knife. He opens the car. He says that he was trying to just put in his console and that he was going either just be arrested or whatever it is, but he didn't. He was thinking like they're gonna kill me because I have this knife on me, so let me get rid of it. Um, and he shot in the back and he paralyzed, shot in the back 7 times, right? So he never got that benefit of the doubt, right? Because they almost gave him a death sentence for having a knife. And what he says is like, am I a knife thrower? Am I a ninja? Like, how does a knife that is not out, like, I'm not bringing a knife to a gunfight, essentially is what he's saying. Like, and
Right.
why would I stab some police officers? Like, what do I gain out of that? And it's like he's not even afforded that benefit of the doubt, right? But on the other hand, a young white boy who has no business crossing state lines to be a vigilante with an AR, he is afforded the privilege of murdering 2 people, shooting and injuring another, and yeah, let's say it's self-defense. Is there no accountability for putting yourself in that possession or position, right? That's like let's imagine going to a zoo and getting in the cage with a tiger. This reminds me of Cat Williams' little skit. You in the cage with a tiger. It's
Tiger.
a tiger. Why are you messing with the tiger, right? And you're provoking this tiger, and this tiger attacks you, and you shoot the tiger. You should be liable. You should be held liable. You should be sued for not only the value of the tiger, but you should probably be put in prison for killing a tiger because you put yourself in a position that you shouldn't have been in. And that's how I feel about him. Like, maybe in the videos, the people do look like they attacking him. I probably would attack his ass too. You provoking shit. You over here trying to be a vigilante, but he's also doing what Trump said, right? He said, y'all loot, we shoot, or something along those lines. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but that's what I heard, and I'm sure that's what he heard too. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna go shoot me some errors. I'm gonna shoot me some looters in, right?" Um, and I think that that's what we see in this, is that it is a upholding of white supremacy, and I don't think either one of us are surprised. Once I heard that the National Guard was there on Sunday, it's like it's just a
Yeah, you
matter of
knew it was coming.
they dismissed the charge of him owning a gun illegally, an AR illegally. Once they did that, I was like, dog, that's one of the easiest charges. And let me real quick walk y'all through some of the charges, because I know some people are like, okay, well, you got to make sure that you're charging them with the right thing so you make sure that the thing sticks. Okay. Well, they charged them with, I think, about 6 counts, 6 or 7 counts. Some of these charges include reckless homicide, intentional homicide, attempted homicide, endangering public safety, possessing a dangerous weapon under the age of 18, and breaking curfew. You telling me dog ain't he didn't get he didn't get charged or what's the word, found guilty of any of these things? Like, come
Right.
on, man. Like, at least when the weapons charge, I was like, he was literally under 18 with a dangerous weapon. That's right there for me. Endangering public safety. well, walking around with a AR past curfew sounds like endangering public safety to me. Like no one else would be allowed to do that. If I walked outside in Inglewood right now with an AR, oh boy, SWAT gonna be on my ass quick. I ain't gonna get no time to explain. Like, oh, I heard that there would be people out here rioting, so I want to patrol the grounds. No, they shooting me down, dog, for public disturbance, for disorderly conduct, for being black with a gun. Like,
Right. Which is
so
a thing.
and I think it's just, yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. Just seeing how the judge was kind of chummy with him too. Like it seemed like an act. It seemed like a play. It seemed like just something to do in like for show, right? And I think that that's what's so harmful. And these cases just tell us a lot about our justice system. How white men are allowed to take this justice into their hands, and I think it comes a lot into the killers of Ahmaud Arbery in that case too. Is white men thinking that they can take justice into their own hands.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think that you have to be very, very careful in these types of situations. In these cases, there was there was claims and reports that the judge had his phone going off, and it was like
Uh,
the ringtone of a campaign song that Trump
yeah,
has, and things of
sure
that
was.
nature. And I think that even because I know some people in the comments are definitely talking about like his legal age to have that rifle in Wisconsin, and I think that there's a and you we can appreciate that law, but like to have that weapon and then be able to harm people with it without any type of accountability, you send the message to young white men that like this violence is okay, is justified. For even for one of my friends to classify him as scared, I'm just like, I don't know how you fear anything at any moment with that AR-15. You have all the power at all times, like, and I think to your point, T, like so many of us would not get the benefit of the doubt. The judge did seem, there were pictures of how close they were when they were looking at stuff in the courtroom
Mhm,
together. And it was sort of like, I got you.
mhm,
Like, don't worry about this. You're young.
mhm,
We as white men, we all do bad things. And guess what? We all get 10 chances. This is just your first thing. Don't
mhm,
worry. You get at least 8 more times to be a terrorist. You get at least 8 more times to cause chaos. And it's crazy because, you know, I it, we really see some people really saw the innocence in this man. They
mhm,
they saw something that was innocent about Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, and I don't, and I can't really fathom how he gets off, but people don't see the innocence and unarmed black people who have been shot down, and it's scary, it's sad, and
mhm,
what's going to happen is one of two things, right? When you continue to treat people in America like they don't matter and that their lives are futile anyway, they start acting like it. That shows itself in violence of all sorts, whether it's riots or other things. But even more importantly, probably, is how you affirm the people who are violent, right? So
mhm,
you got thousands, maybe millions of white boys who might have thoughts about doing violence or being violent, and they say, you know what? Kyle got off. Kyle had a community around him. I can do the same thing. And by the
mhm.
time you realize you've done that, now you have countless others whose lives could be drastically altered in a negative way. And so I think that this is a time for America to like really step back and say, hey, look, this is not it. And even for Joe Biden to be like, nah, I agree with it. We stand on it. We got to trust the system. It's like, the system is broken. Um, and you've criticized some of your opponents about this type of stuff in the past. And
Mhm.
so I didn't appreciate that from him either, especially for him to not have been there, to maybe not even know all the details, regardless of what was said in the trial. So it's just a weird time.
Absolutely. And just kind of taking off from there. And before we transition off, I just want y'all to make sure that you're paying attention to the Ahmaud Arbery The killers of Ahmaud Arbery, because of course Ahmaud Arbery is not on trial. He has not gotten that fortune right. Um, but his killers are currently on trial. I want you to know their names. We have William Roddy Bryan. There is his son named Travis McMichael and Gregory McMichael. Gregory McMichael was a former police detective and a private investigator, so he has deep roots into the justice system there, and that has caused problems. This case has been pushed back because two different attorneys had to recuse themselves because they knew him. They're currently facing 9 charges, including murder and aggravated assault. And they've built their defense purely around a 2-part strategy that they were trying to do a citizen's arrest, and they had to kill him in self-defense. They've been testifying that they felt like they were in a life or death situation. But again, thinking about how these white men have taken justice into their own hands and they put themselves in that position. I think that we have to always consider that accountability of how you brought yourself in this situation. And you can't say that, like, oh, I feared for my life, if you put yourself in that position, you know? Um, and also knowing that it gives George Zimmerman vibes too, because Mr. Michael, who prides himself as some type of like neighborhood police, um, called the police and said that he saw Mr. Arbery jogging by and that he resembled a suspect, black, in a series of break-ins. And the police told him that they didn't have any reports on file and to not pursue. Instead, they decided that that's what they were going to do. I believe the defense just rested either yesterday or today, so the case is wrapping up. That verdict will be coming. We probably will cover that by um, next episode. But I just wanted you all to keep that in mind, that this is another pivotal case on deck. And y'all got to watch out because we understand how the justice system works. So yeah, we just wanted y'all to keep that on deck for y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I didn't even say before, it's been such a crazy episode, but this was a part of our light roast. And for those of you who don't know about the light roast, is when we criticize someone or something in society, and we try to do it in a constructive way. But this week, it's just a tough week, man. It's heavy. It's heavy, you know. So I think we've said everything that we need to say on it. But yeah, this is a critique on America and how the system is working. It's so funny to you, even when you say justice system, it's like, what, just like, I don't even know what to call it. It's
Uh-huh.
it's just a system. It's just a system. I can't even. You said what?
Like judicial, because
Yeah,
it's
it's the
by
judicial.
justice. It's not justice though.
Yeah, yes. No, not at all. So.